Hello and welcome, this is Mr. Siege. Yes, welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be doing some dueling with the strongest 1v1 march. Yes, that's right, that's Babur Gajah Madah, if you didn't know. I just want to show my crystal tech because it's far from maxed. I've spent 45 million crystals up till now. And obviously some of these duels I did before that. So showing my crystal tech, obviously we've not gone up here, we've not got improved morale, which is very, very important. Obviously, some of these guys in today's video will be fighting have max crystal tech. So very, very hard and amazing gear too. So I don't win every duel, and that's totally understandable. So I want to show my gear, equipment, and armaments. Obviously, Babur and Gajah Mada here will be the pairing I use today. And I've got two crits I'll be using. Yeah, that's the helmet and the chest piece here, with the Ring of Doom and Plume for the most amount of damage I think is possible. Could potentially use the Horn, but I don't own one. And obviously, these are the stats on this equipment. Just to compare, because obviously I will show you the equipment of the other marches I'm fighting today too. So not only is this one of the best ranged marches, obviously in the game now, the pairing Babur and Gajah Mada, it's also good at melee range. And this is interesting because Siege really aren't supposed to be that good at melee range, but they're actually the best 1v1 march in the game, close up, which is crazy, really. Now, just showing you through my armaments now, just so you can see exactly what I've used. Obviously, I've done these tests before. Nevsky's probably the strongest 1v1 march apart from this. You've seen me beat that in other videos with no gear, no armaments, just completely naked. In this video, obviously, we're fully equipped, but so is the enemy. So guys, stick around, enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. So I'll be starting this video off against the strongest dueling pair, Nevsky. Now this guy's actually got way better equipment and crystal tech. I'm actually migrating at the end of this KVK. I'm going to 3069. So I'm trying to use up my resources. I didn't use as much as I expected this KVK. I've even got a lot more on my farm. I had to give some away. I don't mind using it up, getting a few more kills and losing a few more. So as you can see, 30k to 17, that was quite humiliating, to be honest. So let's take a look at his equipment. And first of all, his equipment is way, way better than mine. It's a full crit set. Even the accessories are crit, and he's got a decent amount of iconic levels on here. My equipment can nowhere near compete with this, and that's basically why I've got a report ending like that. It's as expected. Here's his crystal tech. He's got 6 points in improved morale. I'm not exactly sure how much that gives you extra damage, but it makes a big difference anyway. So next up, we're actually trying Gajah as primary. I do two tests here, switch them round, and then afterwards I do a Babur Gajah, because I've actually never really tried it before with Gajah primary. Possibly at range it's better, but actually 1v1 at melee range, I'm not actually 100% sure. So yeah, I did this a couple of times in this video, and it is obvious which is best. So that was 30,000 to 35,000. A pretty close matchup with that Liang Herman. Now, as you can see here in this video, a lot of the duels, I don't benefit by the extra 3% troop capacity, which is obviously part of my talent in the engineering tree, which, yeah, I should use. And in some of the duels I show you now and in my next video, which will probably be the same sort of thing, you can see I've added 3% amount of units on. So here's the Babur report, and we've got 29,600 to 34,000. Compare it to the other one, this is very, very similar. Now, later in the video, we do try this again, and it was a bit more of a difference. It's pretty similar. You could try these either way around. Babur has a faster march speed as well, so that is a benefit if you're going to use them on the open field. So let's check out his gear on Zhuge Liang. Now, you can see we have 2 crits on the equipment. Obviously, a crit horn, which is nice. The armaments are actually pretty decent. 5.2% all damage. Now, that is very, very nice. Now, in this next one, we're fighting Nevsky Joan. In fact, he's getting slapped here, so he decides to run away. Yeah, crying. I I kind of hitting him just for the fun of it, to be honest. He was an enemy, so I wasn't too fussed. So look at that report, 10k to 15k. I had beaten him before quite easily with his Nevsky journey. He wanted to try again. Absolutely smashed him, to be honest. But yeah, just didn't have it in him to win. There's a Liu Che Zuge there. I think he must have changed secondary commander to be obviously infantry on that one. Just going for a few reports here, which I've done with him and a different guy called Lion. And let's check out what his Nevsky's wearing. So no crits on this. Pretty basic equipment set. His armaments are pretty average, I'd say, to be honest with you. Now, this one we've got a William Liu Che, obviously the newest arrival, William Wallace. So let's see how we can perform against this march. I've actually matched troops again on this one. I haven't used a 3% extra, as you can see, 220k. And obviously, I've not actually dueled this march before. Kind of interested, obviously, being a new addition. Slows on William Wallace does provide a shield. So I was expecting a little bit more from this march, but obviously, it all depends on equipment and crystal tech, which we will take a look at. But yeah, it did get battered here by Babur Gajah Madah. Now, the result here was 13k to 34k. Absolutely smashed that Wallace Liu Che. So yeah, let's take a look at this equipment. So we've got one crit on the legs there. Not amazing. And the armaments, they really aren't up to scratch. No inscriptions and only about 12-13% stats. So nowhere near on par with mine. Next up, he tries again, and this time he brings out Guan Scipio. So let's see how this performs. Does it perform any better than the Wallace Liu Che? I'd expect it to not perform as well. Guan and Scipio very, very outdated. They get slapped by this Babur Gajah Madah march. In fact, I used to run this on the field and I got slapped by everything, to be honest, as well. So let's look at the report. 17.6k to 40.5k. That's huge. And as expected, pretty bad. So again, we have another William Wallace here, Liu Che. Hopefully we can get a better performance from William Wallace and Liu Che on this one. But yeah, it's not looking promising. Already in the yellow while I was still well on the white. In the red now. I'm only sort of midway through my troops. It's got slapped again. So 19.3 to 45k there. I had 109k troops remaining. And unfortunately, I haven't got the equipment this guy used. Unfortunately for that one. I'm presuming it's going to be worse than the last. And yet again, we have another William Wallace Liu Che. Now, the difference with this one is the guy has max tech. And even now, you can see how close it is. The guy's got max tech, and believe me, better equipment, and we'll see that in a second. 29k almost to 23k. Yeah, that one, we lost fairly substantially. But look at the equipment. He's got a full crit set apart from the Ring of Doom, okay, which is pretty mad. And his and his armaments are fantastic. And again, the maxed crystal tech makes a huge, huge difference. As you can see, again, I'm nowhere near, absolutely nowhere near. I'm missing 4% attack, and the call to arms, and all that matters. The improved morale matters quite a bit. Next up, we have another William Wallace, but this time paired with Sargon the Great. This test will just show how outdated Sargon is. One of the best 1v1 infantry commanders in the game, and it's getting slapped by Babur Gajah Madah. But not only that, is this guy is also max tech with decent equipment. So let's check out the report. 20.5k to 31.5k. This really is spanking, unfortunately. Again, with maxed tech. Now, we did have another battle, and he used Liu Che as secondary, and obviously that slapped me then, which is inevitable. With this equipment, which is absolute mad infantry equipment, everything is crit, these armaments. So it's no wonder he beat me with Liu Che's secondary. So Sargon's secondary really did not perform. It was kind of terrible. I think it was just a bit of a test, to be honest. And just again here, he does show me he's got max tech. He says he's got max tech. That all damage makes a significant difference. So we started this one, well, started recording this one right in the middle of a battle. He's got Sargon Liu Che, 300k troops, pretty much, just over. I've got around 274k T5. And yeah, the Sargon Liu Che still loses. I wouldn't say massively. It's a decent report. 29.4 to 38k. Again, more troops, just 6k T4, which makes no difference. And let me show you the gear. Better gear than mine. You know, 3 crits. We've got the iconic tears there on the Eternal Night, which makes a little bit of a difference. Not massively better than mine, to be honest. And I'd say his armaments, again, are fairly average. Only 2 inscriptions, not a huge amount of stats on there. Now, this is a tough one. This is a guy in my kingdom, Picocci, one of the best players in our kingdom, you know, top 3 definitely. And he's got his William Wallace Liu Che. He's obviously max tech. He's one of our rallies and garrison leaders. Again, same amount of troops. I could have used 3% more. It may have made a difference, but 30k to 22k. It's honestly very, very close. I mean, look at this guy's gear again. Absolutely crazy. Full crit set. Loads of them are level 5. And his armaments are just as good too. Again, showing my crystal tech. Very low spend, 45 mil crystals. Now, this is the time I use Gajah Mada as primary, just to another test. It does perform worse, okay? As I'd have expected. It's still quite a close battle. Again, max tech makes such a difference. And here's a result, 32 to 19k, 32.7. Yeah, slightly better with the Babur Gajah Madah. So now we're fighting another Liang Herman. Quite an easy battle, this one. This is Misty. So Misty is using T4 troops. So it looks like it's easy, but actually he's doing a fantastic job. Not gonna lie, he's got great equipment. You may have seen it in a video before. Now don't look at the severely wounded, but look at the KP. And it's fairly even. Potentially with a very, very likely, if he had T5 troops or a full load of T5 troops, he would have won this battle. As you can see here, it's kind of split. You know, he's got 40k T5 in there. Next up, we have a Gorgo Liu Che. Obviously, start the fight. Let's get going. Now, this is a pretty strong dueling march, in my opinion. I've fought this march many times before. It's very strong in a 1v1 situation. Not very mobile on the field, but yeah, it's a decent strength 1v1 dueling march. Obviously, Liu Che does do AoE as well, so it is good on the field, but the mobility is very, very lacking on this Gorgo Liu Che. Now we've got 30k to 40k, quite a clear-cut victory actually, and he did have more troops. This one, we've got a Nevsky with Joan. Really doesn't perform well against this Babur Gajah Madah anymore. It's kind of lacking, as you can see. Gets pretty smashed here again. Hopefully we can have a look at the equipment afterwards. So 28k to 52k, same amount of troops. I didn't even use more. Pretty much double the KP. Let's take a look at the equipment. Okay, we only got one accessory on, not even an epic accessory. Yeah, 2 crit pieces, but yeah, armaments not amazing again. This time again, we're going to take on a Huo Nevsky. Very, very, very strong mark. Again, the Huo will have waited 30 seconds before attacking. As you can see, I'm getting beaten here, but Huo Nevsky is very, very strong. And one of the main reasons is his rage regeneration. And he always gets the first active skill off before I manage to. That always puts you on the back foot on a 1v1 dueling situation, because then you're fighting with less troops. And as you can see in the report, he did have more troops than me anyway, so it didn't really help. Now, Scipio here with Sargon. Kind of weak march these days. As you can see, it's getting absolutely hammered. and he in fact tries to run off. Unfortunately, I can't kill him, but I still kind of firing. I could have run away too, but decided not to. Kind of bad, but oh well. This was 24k to 51k. Smashed it, to be honest with you. And on the way back, this guy decides to come and attack me. But I'm up for the challenge. He's actually got a full march in terms of without a buff. I don't think he's got a great crystal tech anyway, but here we go. So I've got very low health already. I thought this would be a bit of fun. I'm expecting to die. Obviously, he's got 214k troops, or did have T5. So kind of tough. Scipio Liu Che. I just wondered how it would perform. And to be honest, held up very, very well. As you can see, he's down way below half health now. 17k to 15k. That's actually great compared to the amount of troops we had. I had 116k to his 214k. Quite a massive difference. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Come back for the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.